back here with Antoine Walker. Warriors, Grizzlies, Game 2, Twan. And John Morant with perhaps a splash of revenge after missing that buzzer beater to lose Game 1. Well, he missed next to nothing last night, matching his postseason career-high 47 points. We're all tied up at a game apiece in this series. Grizzlies and Warriors. It really was an historic night for Ja. Look at this. Joined LeBron and Kobe as the only three guys to put up multiple 45-point playoff games before age 23. Ja caught wind of the stat last night, seemed impressed with the company he keeps, both Bron and Bean. Nick, is it crazy to say that Ja is actually the best player in this series?
Of course it's not crazy. I mean, he hasn't had the best career. Steph's got 3 titles, a couple MVPs, but right now, this moment, is it crazy to say Ja Morant's better than Steph Curry? No, that's not crazy. And by the way, before I even give the full take, I want to say what a pleasure and true honor it is to be on a show with, I think you could argue, the 2 most preeminent Ja Morant supporters in the media. Chris Broussard, who is the Ja guy, and Antoine Walker, who is the only person I saw in the national media to have the courage to pick the Grizzlies to make the finals well before the playoffs even began. So it's really nice to have 2 guys who never switched it up, who didn't, who never had any care in the world about what the Timberwolves were going to do, to enjoy this great Ja Morant moment with. So the question I would ask is this. Has Steph Curry ever had a playoff game better than the one Ja Morant had last night? My answer to that is no. Steph has never scored more than 47 in a playoff game. Steph has, in fact, only scored more than 40 twice. Both came in losses. The Grizzlies were down 95-91 with their season on the line. Jaren Jackson fouled out, 4 minutes left, and Ja scored 15 straight points to win the game. Layup, layup, 3, jumper, free throws, jumper, free throws. And so the impact he's having, Bane seems to be compromised. Dylan Brooks had been kicked out. Jaren Jackson had fouled out. They have to win, and Ja does that. And they have no answer for him. They have no one who can guard him at the point of attack. No one can keep up with him. So as great as Steph is, this moment in time, is it crazy to say Ja Morant's better? No, that's obviously not crazy. Doesn't mean Grizzlies are going to win the series, because the Warriors might, even if Ja is the best player in the series, Antoine, Warriors might have second, third, and fourth best guys, especially with Bane not looking like himself. But no, it's not a crazy take in my opinion at all.
I agree with you, Nick, on that the fact that Ja Morant is the best player in the series, but I don't think Ja Morant is the smartest player in the series. And what I mean by that is he going to make sure that he keep his imprint and his foot on their neck all the time, like he did the last 5-6 minutes of that game, but scoring 15 straight points. I don't like Ja Morant shooting 23 threes in 2 games. I don't think that's his strength. Does he have to shoot a couple? Of course, because they do sag on him. So you do want to make them respect you and open up your driving lanes a little bit. But I worry that he can fall in love with it a little bit too much as he gets fatigued, and we know how much energy he plays with. And I just want to make sure that he plays smart. One thing Steph is going to do is going to play smart. He's going to use picks. He's going to use Draymond Green. He's going to come out pick and rolls. He's going to use his teammates a lot more than Ja Morant will probably use his teammates. So that's where I'm talking about being smart, because this guy has the ability to put pressure on you every play, whether it's to score or pass. Now, I think Steph is the 3rd best player in this series. When you talk about the best players in this series, I think it goes Ja Morant, Jordan Poole, then Steph Curry. Jordan Poole is the best player on the Warriors right now. And I hope you guys understand that and know that.
Wow.
And I think he's proven that.
From the first round.
From the
you
first,
buried the lead.
Oh no! From the first round of the playoffs that we saw with the Denver Nuggets, and even the first 2 games on the road, Jordan Poole's the best player on the Golden State Warriors right now. That's the reason why Steve Kerr had a tough time taking him out the lineup. You guys know that. We don't have to talk about that. You guys know that and understand that.
I think we do have to talk about it.
But you know, Ja Morant is the best player. Ja Morant is the best player in the series. I have to agree with that.
All right. I've just been floored. All right. I like Jordan Poole. You guys know I'm all about connections. I'm all about history. And my daughter did graduate from Michigan. She was there with Jordan Poole. So I like Jordan Poole, and I will claim him too, because he's a Michigan grad or alum.
There you go.
Twan, what of track record? What of resume? What of like building over time? I mean, Jordan Poole just showed up on the scene. I mean, Jeremy Lin looked like a superstar for a few months too.
No, we're talking about the best player in the series, Chris. We're talking about who's the best player in the series and the best player who's playing right now in the playoffs. We're not talking about track record. You talk about track record, then we got to go back. Obviously, Steph Curry is the best player probably overall, just judging off track record.
Yes.
But I'm talking about right now in the playoffs. Right now, Steph Curry's third. He's the third best player right now in the in this playoff series right now. Jordan Poole has been outstanding for Golden State. No. He's been outstanding this whole playoff series. Both series.
Well, Twan, I put something together for you, because I know how you love these, these little additions I throw in. And this graphic, we talk about Ja and Steph, my second team All-NBA guards. I guess I should have had Jordan Poole on there, maybe third team, first team, who knows? But I think it's between Steph and Ja, with all due respect to the young Jordan Poole. I would go with Steph. And I don't know, Nick. Nick, are you saying that Ja, you just said it's not crazy to consider that Ja might be the best player in the series. I don't think you were saying he is. Am I accurate?
No, I think Ja Morant, right, the only trepidation I have is that Ja Morant, I think this is what I believe. Let me be very clear. I think Ja Morant showed last night and has shown he can reach heights that Steph Curry can't and hasn't in his career. That Ja Morant's apex game right now is better than Steph's apex game. I do think Steph is far less likely to have a 3 for 19 awful performance. Ja, because of his youth and his style of play, that's more, that wouldn't be so shocking. So does that make sense, Brew? I think Steph could be the more consistent guy, but I think right now, of the guys in the playoffs, Ja's best game I'm doing it quickly in my head, might only be behind Giannis and Luka. As far as you're giving me that guy's best game, I haven't seen anyone be able to stop him at the point of attack. Like, nobody seems to be able to do it, and if he's knocking down jump shots, he's unguardable.
Well, look, his athleticism, his leaping ability, obviously he can get whatever he wants in the paint. He can get to the rim whenever he wants and finish most of the time. So I'll give you that. But I also think Steph, I don't know, I'm not giving you that his apex game is higher than Steph's. Because Steph really hasn't had to go there because he's always had Clay or he had KD. And now he's got Jordan Poole, to Twan's point. So he's got Clay and Poole who are capable of going ballistic themselves. So he really hasn't had to do that. And I think, to your point, he's been more consistent. Ever since his first playoff game this year, when he came off the bench with the injury, he scored at least 24 points. And some of those games were in not a ton of minutes because he was still coming off the bench. Ja has been more up and down, more of a roller coaster. He's had 3 games and 8 playoff games this year where he shot under 31%, where he scored under 18 points. So I just think, and I got to throw this out too. The Warriors, Twan, you notice, even when Steph isn't scoring a lot, the defense is still focused on him.
Well, that's
and that
true.
opens things up for his teammates. And so that's why the Warriors are 8-10 this year without Steph. But the Grizzlies are 20-3, I believe it is, without Ja. And so as great as Ja is, and I love him, their ability to win without him, I think, has to say something too when you consider that the Warriors can't win without Steph.
You guys got to stop this. Don't get me wrong. I love Steph. Steph is a premier guard in this league, but he's not second team. Chris, he's not second team All-NBA. What about DeMar DeRozan? He didn't have a better season than DeMar DeRozan at all. You know that.
What?
How are you going to – he didn't. Steph had a great start to the season. He was great to start the season. When Draymond Green got hurt, he struggled. You know that. And then he got hurt towards the end of the year. I know he's a big name. You want to put him up there. But this wasn't the year for those guys. You got some new stars in the league now, Chris. I know you guys want to hold. It wasn't for LeBron this year. It wasn't about Kawhi Leonard. It wasn't about KD. It wasn't about Steph. We got some new young stars in the league, man. Pay some respect to them. Pay some respect to him. Steph Curry was great. He had a solid season. He had a solid season. He's not second team All NBA. Not better than DeMar DeRozan.
What hates Broussard